Hey guys, I'm Jenny and I made a bunch of rasterizing brushes that I have given to the group, and I use them to see what my design will look like after I print it in ProRip, or to help me decide what shape of rasterizing I want to do, or even to do a mock-up. That'd be a good use of these brushes too. So let's load them up and see how they work. So basically what I did was I took a 50% gray and turned it into a grayscale file, and then just used the bitmaps to come up with some different shapes. So that's basically what we're going to be doing. So let us go ahead and load these brushes. So to do that, I'm going to go up here to Window. Well, actually, you know what? Let me do my shortcut and go ahead and get the file set up. So I posted a video last week of doing, setting up your file for white toner printing. So I'm just going to bring that down, and that was an action that I have. So, okay, I don't know what that is, but let me get rid of it. Okay, so now let's go over here to Window, and we're going to go down to Brushes, and we're going to bring up our Brushes panel, and we're going to load up these brushes. So wherever you saved the brushes that you downloaded, that's where you're going to go. So we're going to hit these 4 lines right here, and we're going to import brushes. And this, I'm using Photoshop CC 2020, but I think these should be good for any Photoshop CC. So I am working on a white toner toolkit for myself, and that's where I have loaded these brushes. And they're called WTTSG raster brushes for white toner transfer support group. So let me open those up. And here they are. So I'm going to double click on, click on them and bring them down. Sorry about that. Here they are. Okay, so what we have are 6 different shapes of rasterizing that are available in ProRip and I believe TransferRip as well. So we've got lines, square, diamond, round, ellipse, and cross. And those are the 6 shapes that Photoshop gives you when you're making a bitmap. So that's how I made that choice. So I'm going to just bring this down here. I am going to, well, actually, let me move it over here for the moment. So the first thing we want to do is create a layer mask, because when I designed the brushes, I really designed them to erase the black, basically. So this layer mask is going to help us do that. So now we'll go over here and get our brush, and let's start with the ellipse. And basically this is just an ellipse shape, and these brushes are A4 size. So it is the size of an A4 print, and that should be the DPI as well, 300 DPI. So, all right, so make sure that your brushes, your brush colors over here are loaded on black, and then white would be behind it. If they're not, or you're not sure, you just click on this white and black square, and now we're on black. Okay, so let's see what the diamond looks like. So we're gonna hit the diamond, and let me zoom in. So that's what the diamond shape looks like. And that's pretty good. And that'll be similar to what it would look like in TransferRip. It's probably not perfect, but similar. So let's say we don't like that. I'm going to Command Z on a Mac, or Control Z as in zebra on a PC to undo that. And let's see what the cross looks like. So again, this is A4 sized. So I'm just gonna put it in the right spot and click on it. And let me get my zoom tool. And that is the cross. And actually this one is my favorite raster shape. I have not mastered the peel yet. But so anyway, so here's what the cross would look like. And so the black is what would be removed from your toner, and then the color would be the toner that's prints from your white toner printer. All right, so let me go back and let me undo that. And let's try diamond. So that's what diamond looks like. Weird that it doesn't really look like a diamond, but I guess this is the diamond here. Okay, so now let me undo that. And let's try round. And let me put that back on the screen. Okay, and so here is the round. And again, let me zoom in so you can see it. So that one looks pretty good. And let me undo that, and we'll go with square next. Okay, and that's the square. And the square is on a 45-degree angle. And when I get done and put the lines on, I'll show you how you can change the rotation of it. So let's undo that, fit on the screen, and now we're going to do lines. Okay, so here are the lines. And let me zoom in. And so that's what the lines would look like. Okay, let me fit the screen, and what you will see is that it takes a lot. I mean, you're taking away 50% of your image here. So obviously it's going to be pretty dull. So what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to increase the saturation. Now you can do this in ProRip or Transfer Rip. In fact, that's probably where I would do it. This image would probably need at least 5 or 6 on saturation, but let's do it in Photoshop again so you can kind of get an idea of what it will look like. So I'm going to really pump it up so you can see it. And then I'm going to make it a clipping mask because right now it's also affecting the black. So let me just go ahead and make that a clipping mask. So see, here's the difference. When you boost the saturation, it makes a big difference. And that's with the saturation, just normal. So boosted saturation, regular. I like the boosted saturation better. Okay, so now let's get rid of the brushes. And I just put them away in their panel. And now let's get this thing ready to go. Now let's say, for example, I wanted to not have lines right here on my windshield. So let's duplicate this layer. Let's say I wanted to do a round right there. So I'm going to delete this layer mask. And I'm going to apply another one. And turn that off for a minute. And now I'm going to go back over here to my brushes and I'll get the round one. And I'll just do round there. And then we'll put our square back and whoa, that's pretty crazy. And so what we want to do, basically, let's disable that. And I'm going to just right click and choose disable for a minute. I'm going to go back on this and I'm going to come over here and get my quick selection tool. Just to, and this is really just to show you how useful these brushes can be. So let's say I just wanted to put circle. I didn't like the lines, for example, on the windshield. It's probably not the best graphic for this, but you get the idea. So now I'm going to select everything but this windshield. So I'm going to go up here to select. I'm going to choose inverse. And I'm going to go back over here to my mask. And I'm going to click on my mask and I'm going to choose edit, fill with black. So now everything is black but that windshield. And now I'm going to come down here to this one and I'm going to choose the inverse. And now I'm going to fill, let's see, edit, fill on this other layer that has the lines on it, I'm going to fill that with black. And now you can see that I have two different types of rasterization. So that's pretty cool. I'm going to undo that. So those are just a couple things that you can do with these brushes. So now let's delete that one. All right, Command D, and we're going to fit the screen. Okay, so now let's say you don't want your lines. Let me delete this, in fact. Just get rid of that. And I'm going to fill that with white. I'm going to, well, I'll just delete that layer mask. Okay, so now here we are about with our super oversaturated van. And let's say we want to rotate our lines. So we're going to go ahead and get a new layer mask. And we're going to come over here to our lines. And they are on a 67.5 degree angle. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over to these brush settings. And we're going to just change the angle like so. And now I'm just going to make it bigger until it fits my design. And now I have lines that are kind of vertical. So you get the idea. So what if we wanted to make some vertical lines? And I'm going to do this really quick, but I'm having fun with this. So let's go over here and we'll start a new file. New, and we're going to go to A4. And we're going to fill it with 50% gray. And this is how you can do your own brushes just like that. So we're going to go 50% gray. And now we're going to go up here. Let me get up on this. All right, so now we're going to go over to Image, Grayscale, Image, Bitmap. We're going to flatten that layer. We're going to hit OK. And now we're on this halftone screen. We're going to make it in the line. And for our angle, we're going to do 90 degrees. And let's say we want to make it really tight, so we'll do 30 frequency, 90 degree line. So that should be straight up and down. 0 is horizontal and 90 is vertical. All right, so now we have 90 degree lines, see? All right, so I'm going to Command A, Command C, and so Command A is select all, Command C is copy. We're going to go back over here to our white toner toolkit. I'm going to turn all this off, and I'm going to create a new layer above our saturation, and I'm going to paste those lines in there. See there? And now I'm going to zoom in and select my black. Oops. Over here with my magic wand tool, I'm going to select black. And then I'm going to select the inverse. So that's going to select everything that's not black, because you will get a little bit of gray. So I'm going to hit delete, Command D, and that's what we want. So you know all the white is gone, only the black is there. And so now I've got just these straight up and down lines. I'm going to Command A, and then I'm going to go up here to edit. I'm sorry, to, edit. And I'm going to define a brush preset. And this is how we can add a brush. And so we're going to name this, we'll call it 90 lines. Then I'm going to hit OK. And now over here in our brushes, we have this 90 lines. And if we want to keep it in this rasterizing brush kit, we just drag it up there. And then there is our 90 lines. So now let's take this layer and put it in the trash can because we don't want it. And we'll go back over here to our bug, or our, I guess it's VW van, I don't know. Make a new layer. And now we're going to grab our brush. Let's turn our black back on. We're going to grab our brush and click on it. And there you have it. There are the lines. And so all you have to do to get this ready to go, let's turn our saturation back on. And we're going to, again, create a clipping mask. And so now all you have to do to get this ready to go is click, you're going to uncheck your black, and your file is actually ready to go. Just right now, all you have to do now is go File, Export, Quick Export as a PNG file, save it, and load it into ProRip and print either as it is, or if you didn't do the saturation mask, then you'll add saturation in ProRip, or get rid of your layer mask, load it into ProRip, and now you know what lines will look like. So I hope you enjoyed this video and have a great day.